camera? Question mark. We need your help. Free training, free custom filter, $600 patent fees waived. Any of your images.
This is the remaster of the channel.
In your name or name of your choice. Once patented, every movie, video, television show maker, or photographer using your imagery will pay you a royalty. To get started today, call or text Mike Oziak 1-413-813-8029. And I just made a couple videos. I was using some different filters that I usually use outside. I don't usually use them inside, but I actually trashed all of my indoor filters. There was too many scratches on my filters, and I just needed to get rid of them. So, accidentally, I got rid of them a little too early before I replaced them, because I thought the outdoor filters would work. So I'm going to redo a couple of the videos that I just done, because I watched them on YouTube, and they're just not clear enough for me. I'll probably keep them posted, and I'll probably post them to the channel, but I set up a channel, a YouTube channel called The Homeless Patent Project. That's the name of the channel, and I'm going to open up that channel for everybody to post their images on. What I'm going to do right now is I already went in on the moon. I already went in on a few things, so I'm going to do now is I think what I'll do is do this. We went in on the moon using video. So this time, just looking for a bright one. Just probably this looks alright. I guess I could pull it up from this one and see if I see them. So what I'm looking for is the same images that I was showing you on the video that I had taken. I'm probably going to try to darken this camera a little bit, so hopefully it doesn't cut out when I do this. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to show you the image, and then I'm going to try to darken him a little. He's right there is the one I was looking for earlier, and he was a little bit hard to get at this rate, so I mean I could do it, I guess, at this darkness. Yeah, this is not too bad. See how the image will keep changing? This is what I was explaining in earlier videos, that as you go move your camera up and down, so it's image within image, but there's only so many images within those images. So in other words, it's not impossible. We will be able to patent these. So let's say, for example, this is the one that I was looking for that I wanted to patent. And he turns into a larger image, or he's built into a larger image. This guy with a pointy nose that I'll go to in a minute. But see this guy laughing with his mouth open and his teeth all broken up? I'll come over a little bit. Now we're in the moon, by the way. These are images of the moon. I'm going to show you how just with a simple cell phone, you can come in here and get all these images on your own. You can get them, download them, and we can have them patented in your name. And very quickly, this is going to get really big, and the first few homeless people who end up taking advantage of this and become millionaires very quickly, because the images are just so easy to get. And I'm going to show you how. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so hopefully I'm all set. I think I'm all set up. Alright, so again, we're on the moon. This is just an image of the moon that I had taken with, I believe this was my crappy little Vivitar camera that I got for like $12 at Walmart on a sales shelf one day. And with that, I take it, download it onto my computer, and I'm able to go in on all of the imagery that is in the moon. This is the electromagnetic nanocarbon that make up our entire system that you're going to also see in the moon. But that's not your purpose. Your purpose here is going to be to patent these images. We want to get pictures of the image that you want to have patented, and we want to get the images that are within the images of the image you want patented. And I think that's the only way we're going to be able to break it down. So like this guy here on the moon, the first person to start patenting these images on the moon, it's going to be unbelievable. The shit is going to hit the fucking fan. Alright, so I'm getting them in real good for you. I'm just getting the coloration right and everything. So I know you're seeing all these other images. You're seeing all this different stuff going on up here. You've seen this face. Don't, just for 1 minute, pay attention to this guy. So what I'm telling you is, boom, you snap this picture, right? We leave that picture right there. I take my plastic down over my screen. Okay. I'm gonna put a little bit of tape here because I'm here doing this by myself and I don't have no one to hold this stuff for me, so bear with me for a moment. Okay. Once my plastic is on the screen, come back out because I started losing them. Started going into the bottom image. Let me see if I can back off a little more. Because what I'm saying is, I don't want this guy yet. I don't want him. And I only want this guy right now. So what I'm going to do, what may be the best idea is if you want, okay, so here we have a skull, right? Let me trace some of these out and I'll show you how I would do this. Let me reach the screen. You gotta give me a second, bear with me. And I also have to make sure that I don't run out my plastic because I don't want to deal with that again. Alright, so here we go. I got my color, I got everything. So we see this skull right here. So I'm going to trace them out. Give me a moment, I have to move the camera around. There. Oops, I splooged a little right here. Alright, sorry about that. Let me come back out again. I have to stretch my arm way out to get him. Oh, his alien face this way. Alright, back to my guy. So remember I was saying my guy has horns? So there's his hairline. Now I'm glad I did this because here's his hairline, here's his horn right here. So I'm glad I did this. And what I did was take that other filter off. So here's his hairline. This fucking guy. Sorry to do swearing. I promised I wasn't going to swear on this channel. Okay, let me get him again. Hold on. Okay. Thing. Move this thing out of my way. Second. Chin again. So now I only want. See, I don't want the guy looking out this way. I'm not getting the guy with the pointy nose right now. I only want this. Just found this guy too. I know what I gotta do. That's what I gotta do. There he is, bastard. Alright, so I was maybe I was jotting out too much. There he is. Now he's real good. Okay. So maybe I was jotting out too much, so I'm going to break this to several different images. So this is what I got here. Alright. Hold on. Trying to find the end. Right here, I guess. Alright, so his mouth, right? Go like this with his mouth because it looks like his mouth. Now there's another face in there, don't forget. So I have to make sure I get that image. And then within that face that's in his mouth is another image. And I'll continue. See the triangles everywhere? See the nanocarbon? They make up the eyes, the noses, the mouths of all these images. So once I got this, what I'm showing you how to do is how to pattern these images. We're going to have to get all the images that are within the image. So why don't we choose this guy, for example? It's not too big, it's handleable, it's doable. And then what we'll do is we'll keep going in on each image and get the other images that are within it. Alright? So here's the other skull, sideways skull that I was going for. So down here is all white. Triangle making up this eye. This triangle has a tail on it, by the way, which I'll talk about the triangle, the tails later. I would also use different color markers. This skull faces several different directions. The same way I was showing you, this guy is going to turn into another guy with a pointy nose when I move him around. But what I'm also also going to point out is the detail that you need to put into this, as far as when you go to do these, and it's easy. You have, especially if you got a couple people, how many teeth he has, where the teeth are placed. That's why it's important to do the tracing, like I'm doing here, on top of the photograph of. So once I get him, I take a photograph of him. I do my first tracing, I take a photograph of that. I can do it all on one piece of plastic by moving the plastic around. I can continue to keep doing image within image. Okay. All these white triangles, all these white ones, which I'm still working on how this is working. The dark triangles seem to be pushing all other colors around. So whatever those properties of these lighter color heavy metals, I can't tell you yet. I just don't know. But I can tell you that the dark nano.
Boy, I learned a lot in 1 year watching this. That's for sure. This is good. This is going to be fun for me to remaster these.
Place. So even if I see
I know so much more now.
Triangle, I'm not yet believing that those are the.
Those are actually the constellations.
Those are the
all those light areas that I'm talking about there.
Let's put it that way.
Oh, it's fun. This is going to be fun.
So I can, once I get that one all done, and I got all the different colors worked in, and where the whites are, and the darkness, and we'll figure out where the dark triangles are on his face and everything like that. And then here's his nose. Now again, his nose, his mouth, everything, I'll just refrain from doing his nose for a moment while I show you how this works. So his nose. Just concentrate on his nose. I'm going to let it go for a minute. Just give me a second. Okay, now you see what his nose is turned into? Now my suggestion, and I'm not stuck on it, but I would say even the nose. That nose is so many times repeated up in the sky, everywhere we go. Ooh, where am I pointing? Everywhere you go, it's hard to point and work the camera at the same time. This image will appear as a nose, okay? The nose. That nose is so many times repeated up in the sky, everywhere we go. Ooh, where am I pointing? Everywhere you go, it's hard to point and work the camera at the same time. This image will appear as a nose, okay? That's why I'm saying the eyes, the noses, the mouths, the darker color, the darker nano are the ones that we should patent first. Once the darker colored images are patented, then we can take it from there and see how the rest goes. The moon definitely should be a top priority to go ahead and patent as soon as possible. And you see, it's funny how the mouth turns into, another image as well. So I can zoom in on his mouth and behind there, behind my writing, scribbles, whatever, you'll see that other face, see the other eyes and the other face. I don't know if you will be able to turn that. But anyways, it's just that simple, okay? I'll pull back out a little bit and we'll look at some of the other images that are just around him. Just around him. I shouldn't call him as a nurse, but around that image. So right behind him, there was another good image, so you're going to get this up out of the way. So again, there's my guy laughing. My tracing didn't come out nearly as good as the actual image, but you get the idea. If you have more than one person, it's obviously going to be a little easier, especially for all these billions of these images that are up there. I'm sure that it's going to turn out to be that many. I don't have a good filter to put on my camera right now. If I had a single layer filter, I would go ahead and throw it on and I'd be able to show you a little bit more detail than I am right now, but you'll get the idea. So this guy's popular too, that I'm pointing at right now. This other one as well. I would just patent everything on the moon, all the medium size images, and then go for the smaller images later. Keep in mind, you're looking at the moon right now. You're on the moon. could flip this computer back the opposite direction, and these lighter areas down here that don't look like all that much to you, I could make them look like a lot. In other words, I could let them show. I could let them show through. So I'm just going, right now I'm just working my camera this way, and I'm learning my lesson not to move too quickly because it screws people up. I won't be able to see it. I see it all now. I have been for a couple months. I can see them now very easily everywhere. So to move quickly is not a problem for me. I'm seeing this, when I'm showing you with the camera, it's taking me image within image. After a couple weeks of doing this, you'll just see it with your eyes, I keep saying, and it's true. You will. You'll just see it with your eyes when you look around. You'll see it everywhere. You're going to have to let your mind adjust because it might be a little bit scary at first. But it's the system that we live in, so I just got to deal with it. No sense in freaking out about it. So I'm giving you all these images right now, I'm showing you. Now, I keep mentioning I have hundreds of these images already on doubles. I already have doubles of many of the images that I'm showing you now. In other words, I could go out and have them patented myself. I'm not interested in money. I would only like to see this all straightened out. Now, this guy also, I would have patented immediately. This will be one of the first ones because I can show you this guy by the hundreds. This image of this guy, I should say. This one I can't say for certain. And then, of course, my guy that I always find him because he just looks so nasty, so evil. I mean, the horns, the whole nastiness of his tongue sticking out, and his teeth all fucked up. I mean, he just looks like the devil himself. So, well, you know, what we know as the devil. And then, of course, when we go down here, like I was telling you, we'll see that the bottom of his face turns into this other image. There's another image within image within image, alright? Now, I can come back out. I can flip my screen around. And we can go up to the top of the moon. And I can play the same game. And I can find you, there's just so many great images. Now, what I was trying to explain before was that, come in on some of these for you, hold on. That wasn't coming out too clear, it was very dark with the darker lens on, so I'm leaving the lens off this time. And I'm going to try to give them to you this way. Now this guy, I would have patented right away. You'll find him everywhere. This guy back here, I would patent because I'm going to show him to you in the clouds. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and hit some clouds in a minute. Now I can get in on all this little detailed stuff, like these heads real cleanly, make everything really clear one at a time. Sometimes several at a time. But I can definitely get in on them. And again, sometimes it's a filter that you're using. Will make all the difference in the world. Oops, sorry. Yeah, back to the bottom left-hand side, which is actually the bottom right-hand side, I believe, because in my telescope everything gets reversed. the imagery in the moon that nobody wants to admit. So it's so easy to patent right now because no one wants to even admit that this is real, that this exists. Everybody just wants to, you know, religions, politics. It's all about anything but the truth. It's all just fucking rabbit holes and wives' tales and bullshit stories. And nobody wants to, you know, admit anything that's true. No one wants to talk about reality. So let this adjust for a minute. You'll see the faces. I'll try not to move too fast. I'll come out a little bit so you can see some of the bigger ones. Some of the full images within images. Hold on. A second. You even got color in there now. So like if you look at this guy here in the corner, he should certainly be patented on the moon. I'll point out that none of these moon images change from day to day. Day moon, night moon, doesn't matter. Half moon, whatever. They're all going to be there for you. And anybody showing them images of the moon, if you have these images patented, especially now, like I'm telling you right now, you'll be able to see this with your eyes. As soon as you start doing this for a couple weeks and you realize, holy shit, then you're going to be able to just look around and you'll see it with your eyes everywhere. The only time you pull out a camera, you'll have to, is to patent your images. If you see a new, because that's what I'm doing right now. I mean, I'm seeing a new image and I said, oh shit, there's a new image, let me go get my camera. You know, I'm seeing it before I get my camera. And I said, here's a bunch of faces looking down at you. You have this guy looking down at you. There's another face here. I'm gonna get them for you. Let's see. Okay, you got that going on. You got that going on back there now. And you can see a little more clearly. Alright. As you're doing this, I only ask, look at all the nanocarbon. Look at all the triangles. Notice all the triangles. And the triangles are...
This is a year ago when I was only seeing them in the black. This is funny.
So every time you see triangles...
Now like I see them the white, the gray.
There's going to be a face over there. So I know if I look around...
About a half a year in. 3 to 6 months in, somewhere like that.
I'm scratching my back. So I'll come around with my camera until I find the face. Oh, there he is. And then look at Super Space Alien back here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now that I'm coming up on him,
This is gonna be fun.
I'm already catching him. So
this is gonna be fun to do this.
Back for him. There he is. There's his face coming up out. He's gotten a lot more clear since I've come out. So is this guy. And again, I'm doing this with no filters. If I had a filter on, I could show you this much more clear. I figured it's better to be bright than to be too dark, because the other one was way too dark. So now we're seeing the outer image of this one here, because when I went in earlier, you should have seen them. Now, I would watch out for faint and foggy imagery that comes out. I have not seen any in the nighttime moon, but in the daytime moon, leading up to the moon, you have the atmosphere that without the light of the sun will allow atmospheric conditions to add images, but it's very obvious when it happens because you will see the different color fogs, and you will also know because you'll memorize and learn the images that are in the moon very quickly. So if they're not matching up night to day, your night moon images with your daytime moon images, then you'll understand what I'm saying. Alright, I'll come out a little bit so you can see these guys. Alright, so I'm going to just let you know right now. I believe that this is atmospheric. See these?
It does look
This,
atmospheric.
a little bit of
Even
redness that's
today.
up here. I believe it's
We
atmospheric.
can still pull imagery out of it.
I don't believe those are moon images. Just from my experience, I'm gonna say yes. That is not.
It's cool how they black out and cover it though.
Maybe
There's something
not.
there.
Hold on. Trying to recognize them.
Because there's the seashell. The seashell's right here.
They fit into the imagery with everything, and they will.
Yep, positive, right? Yeah, it is. That's a seashell.
Table down.
So it's the tilt that's on the camera is actually what's
There's
killing
my
that.
guy. I already copied. Now I'm gonna tell you if that's atmospheric or if it. Actually, let me show you these guys too.
This is going to be fun to do because I'm going to be able to watch myself learn as I go along, you know? Battery's dying.
Okay, there's that skull I was trying to draw before. It's actually a full human skull. And right here, next to this guy.
I did a good job with this, man. I did a good job showing you guys all this. This fucking video I'm showing you right now, I think got 4 views. Under the Homeless Patent Project when I was hitting on Jamie Lee from A Plain Truth. And his people and his minions came to this and saw this and just walked away from it. It's very strange. Very
Yeah, I'm
suspicious.
just bringing this guy in for you. I'm going slow. Bringing this guy in for you. I gotta stop calling guys this image. Bring that image in for you. Now bringing in this larger image. And then you can see clearly, I like this when you can see these guys. It's going to be fun to do this, but baby face right here. It's a baby face under the line. Baby face ends up being the mouth of this lion face image. So the lion's hair. I'm gonna call him a lion. I don't like calling him. You're gonna have to do this. We gotta get names on him. So he's got a full face here. I would do him. Leave this one out of it. I would include him with this.
I did a good fucking job, man. I'm seeing it all. I'm seeing everything that I'm showing everybody. I'm watching the other camera back here while I'm watching this. This
Double
is
down
good.
by putting him on the plastic. There's another one right there. There's another image, another image. I think that's enough for the moon. I want to jump onto some other things because the other videos that I did, I kind of covered some of the moon already on it, and there was a lot of things that I wanted to cover. So what I started to cover and not finish. So this is the page. So we're gonna the new channel that I'm starting on YouTube. I just finished that. So now I'm going to pause it for a second. Okay, so now we're in the clouds. So all this is a picture that you're looking at right now is a picture of some cloud formation. Again, I have no filter on my camera right now, but usually I do.
This is a good fucking video, man.
I don't have any good indoor filters. I'll have to make some in the next couple of days. I'll make some up. When you look around at this, just looks like clouds to you. And then if you were to say, if you see a fluffy bunny in there, or if you say, oh, I see this monster, they'll call you crazy. It's very fluffy. The detail's not real clear. It's kind of cartoonish. Same thing with this one. Looks like something like the cartoon from Ghostbusters or something like that, right? So don't let people psych you out on that shit. What you need to pay attention to so that you can feel confident about this. I'm talking to my homeless friends right now who are gonna take me up on this offer. Look for these triangles, and always be aware.
Oh,
of
this is a good fucking video, man.
That are everywhere. This is blue sky behind you.
Unbelievable.
See all the little triangles? See the tiny ones? Not just the big ones, because you're gonna see the big
Four
ones as well.
fucking views.
Just see the big ones. Now, pay attention to the little triangles. All of you. I'll zoom in a minute. See the boomerang triangles? See all the triangles that are everywhere? Okay? Those are the electromagnetic nanocarbon that push these other electromagnetic heavy metals into place to make up these images. Now these images are phenomenal. So I was already over on this one in an earlier video, so I'll just see which one comes out better, and maybe I'll post both of them, I don't know. But you can obviously see what these nanocarbon, the images this nanocarbon is trying to produce here, right? Of course you can. You're not crazy. So what you can do is trace these out, photograph them, go in on them, and get the rest of the images that are within the images. If you want to just have the main image patented, that's fine. I don't know what to make of this yet. I'm just starting it, so I don't know what we'll get away with or not. But let's say, for example, we
I love
only
this
have
fucking
this
guy.
image patented, but yet when you go in, you're going to see all these other images that are within that image. Right? And I'll zoom in for you here. So let's say you have that large image patented, and then all of a sudden, somebody comes up and says, well, that's fine, you know, you're patenting this large image, that's fine, but I own the patents and rights and the copyrights for all this other imagery, for what's in his mouth, his nose, okay, look at it.
Amazing.
Alright, this is his mouth and his nose, make another image. I have his eyes patented. So if you're gonna get royalties off the image of this face, we can name them whatever we want. We're just gonna get a baby book and start naming the images out of a baby book seems the most likely, makes the most sense. And then maybe you call it Roy A, and then Roy B, Roy C, Roy D, Roy E, Roy F, you know, however you want to call it. This way you have the royalties to everything within this one image. So there might be thousands of images. There are definitely thousands of images within each image. And I'm only taking this one image, not taking this one whole picture here. Because this whole picture here, look, watch. In a second. I'll get it even better for you, hold on. So again, the cartoony ones, you are not going to be able to make anything on. You're not going to be able to pass them. They're too fuzzy, too blurry. But since you're there anyways, pay attention to the triangles everywhere. See the triangles everywhere? See them all? See them all? See how they're neon triangles? And when they go behind the heavy metals, they look black to our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see the triangles? See the big ones, the little ones?
Yep.
See them everywhere? Look inside deep, looking deep for the triangles. Okay? And then you'll see the imagery. We'll patent the imagery. We cannot patent the nanocarbons. The government already has a patent on nanocarbons. So we won't be able to patent those. But we can
It's
patent
true,
the
too.
images.
It's true. Okay, that's it. Okay, let me go back here. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm remastering my channel. Trying to get back to it. I'm on the Michael Oziak channel. I'm gonna switch everything over to these other channels before they get shut down. I'm gonna run through everything. I'm just gonna jump around, I think. So I'm just gonna write these down as I do them. Now I know I just did these two, and a third one got thrown into the mix. I don't even know if it's gonna come up or not. We'll see. And that's about it. And this is another new channel that I've had for a while, and I'm just gonna try to move everything onto it. So I'm gonna work probably through this back page because it looks really good. This is something called the Homeless Patent Project I started out on when I first found the EMNC. I think it's really interesting to listen to myself and how far I've come in 1 year and seeing all this. And, you know, I don't know where is everybody, my usual question.